Welcome to another episode, everyone. Wack100 is the worst kind of coward. He's just the worst coward ever to enter the internet, ever to claim a gang, ever to claim to be a blood. We all know he's not a blood, he's not a pyro. And he refuses to fight me because he's a coward. He just refuses. He won't even bring it up. I called him out for a fade, as many of you know, some days ago, and he refuses to even acknowledge it. Now, many people have asked me if I've seen a video that this transmission lover did where he disrespected my deceased mother. And the answer is yes, I've seen the video. I've seen parts of the video because he had my name in the title, and so I was skipping towards ahead to see what he had to say about me. He's addressed many people in the video. I was one of them, and he disrespected my mother. Said, I don't even want to repeat it. So he may have said more things. I only saw a part of what he said because I had seen enough. The part that I seen, I made a decision there. I didn't need to see anymore. So what happened was, on Wednesday, I went around looking for Rat100, city of Los Angeles. I wanted to have a conversation with him about this video, about some of the things he had said. So I went looking for him because I didn't want to have a conversation on the internet. As I've said before, some things are content, some things are not. And this was not content as far as I'm concerned, as far as my family was concerned. I mean, a lot of people were upset, friends, family, everything. And so I just wanted to have a conversation with him. So I did a little bit of an investigation to figure out how to get a hold of him. No one is hard to find. Went to a couple of places, but he was not to be found on that day. So I said, okay. And Alshon Martin, who many of you know, huge individual from Hoover, 6'9" boxer, also a rapper. He manages Jap 5 and manages other individuals. He's been in the game. He was with 6ix9ine, the rapper 6ix9ine. He's been with quite a few individuals. Anyway, we have quite a history. And he had called me the night before. I was asleep. So on this day, I texted him. I didn't feel like talking. So this is Wednesday. I texted him and I said, man, I'm right here. I'm out here in LA. Where's Wack100? Because he was just on tour with Wack. They were together. A couple of times he's called my phone. He called with Wack100 on the other line, on the three-way. And I've spoken with Wack twice. This was some months ago. We talked about that when it transpired. He wanted to holler at me about some stuff that had happened, some videos I did, what have you. I took his call, like I will anybody, excuse me. And, we sort of hashed it out. We had resolved the issue, at least I had thought, or what have you. I didn't want to be his friend, even then, because I felt like he was a snake even then. He couldn't be trusted. But I said, I'll let up on him or whatever, resolve whatever the problem was, the videos that I had done that he had a problem with. So anyway, so I text Alshon. I'm just telling y'all what happened. Just bear with me here. There's a lot I want to say and I'm still not going to say though. But check this out. So I text, I don't know, Alshon might say, damn, man, you just telling all our business. We had a conversation because I'm about to get to everything. I don't give a damn. The damage is done. Trust me. So, and I have to be careful what I say here because many individuals that texted me, called me, everything else. People who care about me and said, man, be careful. This dude's trying to rage bait you, trying to bait you in. He knows that, you have a tendency to respond to certain stuff or react and sometimes go crazy on the internet when you get upset about something. You're real passionate. Don't get on here. Don't threaten this dude. Nothing. He's the police. He's going to take it to the police. All that. He already called the police on Spotify. He's the police. He's not a gang member. He's a plant. You have to be careful. Don't say anything that can get you caught up. So I have to be careful. I'm not going to say anything. The time for talking is over. The conversation I want to have is going to have to be face to face. But I'm going to explain why I'm doing this video in just a second. So, at any rate, I was saying that. So Alshon. Okay. So I texted him on Wednesday when I was out looking for Rat100 to have this conversation with him. I said, hey, Alshon, how you doing, brother? I happen to be right here in Los Angeles, California. And I'm looking for your friend, your boy, your uncle, Rat100. I want to have a conversation with him. Where is he? I said, where is he? Alshon, I'm figuring he knows where he's at. So Alshon texts me back and say, man, I'm not getting into no internet beef that you got going with Wack100 and this and that. To paraphrase is what he said. He's not getting involved in the beef. He's neutral. I'm his boy and Wack is his boy. You're not getting involved in anything. I don't want to have a conversation with him. I just want to meet up with him, have a conversation. He don't want to sit down and talk like men. Because he talks a lot on the internet, so he can't just be all internet. Now I want to have a conversation in person. What's wrong with that? Your OG blood shouldn't have a problem with that. So Alshon says in the same breath, in that same text, you can't disrespect someone on the internet and then not expect them to come back at you. This is what Alshon said to me. I said, damn, I thought you said you wasn't getting involved in it. I thought you said you was neutral. I thought you said you wasn't taking any sides. So you do have an opinion on it. And your opinion is that I somehow disrespecting him. So you're justifying what he said about my mother in the video. You think that was cool. You justifying it. Is that what we doing? Okay, bet. I said, damn, this dude Wack got everybody licking his ass, eating out of his hand or whatever. Puppet master. He got these dudes food. Okay, everybody gonna go down with him then. By the time you realize what he even got you involved in, it's gonna be way too late. So be it. So I didn't respond to the text. I have nothing to say about that. If you think that was cool, I'm not about to try to convince you otherwise. You all will understand soon enough that was not cool. That's not content. But that's fine. Carry on. So I didn't respond to the text. He didn't tell me where he was at. I'm not surprised. So later on that day, I guess, or yesterday, Alshon called me. We had a conversation about it. I answered the phone. I hadn't responded to the text, as I said. I answered the phone, and I told him, man, this dude wrong. Your boy Wack is wrong, bro. And put this stuff out on my mother. This and that. It's crazy. He's saying what he's saying. He agreeing with a lot of it. And he's saying, yeah, I didn't know he had said all that, and I didn't know he did this. And, I know y'all be going back and forth, man. And, you said somebody got a strike on your channel. We talking about all this stuff. I'm having a conversation with him, even though I really don't want to talk about any of this stuff. To anyone who talks to Wack, who's a Wack sympathizer, who's Wack's friend, family, or any of that stuff. But this is also my friend. Even though there are a lot of people against him, against Alshon on the internet and all of that, I still have had his back here on the internet or whatever. I can't speak for how everyone else feels about someone. Just my experience and my interpretation of that individual. That's what I go upon, and that's what I base my decisions upon. So at any rate, towards the end of the conversation, finally it just came to me. I didn't even think about this at first. I wasn't going to say it. It hadn't even crossed my mind. I wasn't even tripping. But finally, towards the end of the conversation with me and Alshon yesterday, I told him, I said, man, just tell Wack to take the video down. Tell Wack100 to take the video down. Because I hadn't even thought about telling him to take the video down. Like my family didn't say, like, tell that dude to take that video down, whatever. They was on some other stuff. Like they, it's not about taking the video down. It's too late. And I felt the same way. And so that's why I hadn't even crossed my mind to even say, take the video. But for whatever reason, we were about to hang up. And I said, man, just tell him to take the video down. It just came out of me, because I shouldn't even have to say that, but I shouldn't even have to tell Alshon that. He should have been telling me. I'm finna call him and tell him to take that video down. Right. So Alshon says, okay, I'll tell him to take the video down. He said, I haven't been able to get a hold of him today. He's somewhere with Jap5 or somewhere doing something, whatever. All right. So then he said, but I'll get a hold of him today and have him take it down. He said, like, he's confident, like it ain't gonna be a problem or whatever either, I guess. I guess he thinking he knows Wack and this is his boy. Alshon calls me back later on after I finished taking care of a couple of things. I get a call from yesterday evening. I don't know. I had to look 5, 6 o'clock, something like that, 7, yesterday evening. And he says, so I talked to Wack, bro, and Wack said that you called him a snitch, that you said that he got your channel struck and he didn't get your channel struck, that you called him a snitch. I said, everybody calls Wack a snitch on the internet. And he said, yeah, but coming from you, I guess he was really upset because he said, you've been in the pen, you've been in a level 4 yard, you can't call nobody a snitch without the paperwork. I said, bro, I got proof that he told Adam, about my channel. The next day, my channel was struck. Like, I don't know, man. He said, y'all been going back and forth and you calling him a snitch. And I said, so what, bro? You justifying it? Or he justifying leaving the video up? Because I'm thinking he finna call back and say, y'all holler at Wack and took the video down. He calling back saying this stuff. I'm like, bro, this shouldn't even be a question that he takes the video. I wasn't even going to ask for that. It's like, so what, even if you take it down? It'd be cool because I don't want, more people seeing something like that. This dude talking about my mother. I don't want something like that out here in the metaverse. That's not a game. So it wouldn't be bad if he had taken it down just out of respect. But an individual like this has no respect. If he had respect, he'd have never said anything like that about someone's deceased mother. I didn't come for him, or I've never come for his family. They say his son is gay, that he had sex with his son, all that. I never said this sort of stuff. His wife is fat, ugly, sucking on white boys all day, cheating with everybody in the industry. I never came on here and said this about his ugly wife. Because I'm going to leave his family out of it. I'm going to leave his gay son out of it. I have a problem with him, so I'm going to address him. I think they said his mother's even deceased. I'm still not going to get on here and say anything about his mother other than rest in peace. If she is. If she's not, that's good. Because every man needs his mother, regardless of how old you are. It's just not in me to ever disrespect someone's mother. I know how important they are in our lives. On the internet, the woman that's passed away, I just could never bring myself to do it, even though he's disrespected mine. But what he eats don't make me shit. He's who he is, and I'm who I am. I can never let someone else's actions turn me into someone else. And I'm not the kind of person that does that. And if I do it now, then that means that I let him dictate who I am. I let him dictate my character. I let him get me out of character and do something that I normally wouldn't do, something that I'm against doing. But I'm doing it now because of what he did. No, I still can't do it regardless of what he does. Because I am who I am. So I'm still not going to disrespect that man's family. This is between me and him. That's what it should have stayed. If I called him a snitch and he was unhappy about that. This was, of course, after the video when he called me a fake Hoover, said that Hoover's going to kill my daughter, knew what kind of car my daughter drove. I don't have a daughter. And I know where he got this information from. I know who told him this 50-50 situation. I know who told him this. I was about to explain all of that to y'all too, where he got this. He listening to somebody that he don't even know what's going on with that person. He got him in a world of trouble. He don't know what he's talking about. Me and that individual take care of that when we see each other. I don't know what he's thinking. He know now. I know exactly what's going on, but I'm not going to get into all of that. That doesn't matter. I'm going to stay focused on the culprit, on the individual who's culpable for all of this cancer in the culture. And so when I'm talking to Al Shine on the phone yesterday evening, and I'm saying, so he's not going to he didn't take the video down? He like, man, I'm going to see if I'm going to try to get him, take it down in a couple of days. Everybody just calm down. Take it down in a couple of days. Because he said that you said he a snitch, and you know what I'm saying, you ain't took your video down, I guess, and, back and forth and this and that. So I said, okay, that's cool, bro. Don't worry about it. He don't have to take it down. It don't matter anyway. Like I said, my people didn't even want him to take it down. They told him, no, leave it up. We want it up there for a reason. Leave it up. Let him leave that thing up. It don't matter. People done seen it already anyway. It don't matter. But just the fact, and he don't have to take it down. And the reason that I'm doing this video also is because he told Al Shine, he said, according to what Al Shine told me in this conversation yesterday evening, he says that Wack said, the fact that he made that video is the reason that you stop attacking him. You're like, basically, bro, he said, if he wouldn't have made the video, you would still be making videos on him. I mean, this dude think everything is content. He thinking I'm not doing content on him because of the content that he thinks. He just thinks content. No, I'm out looking for you. I haven't done a video on you because there's nothing else to talk about. I haven't done a video on you because this is not internet. What's wrong with you? But this is how deeply involved he is in the content, thinking that everything is content, thinking I stopped running content on him because of some content he did disrespecting my deceased mother. All he thinks about is content. This was just content to him. I said, no, that's not why I didn't do it. Why I didn't respond to what he said, didn't react to it, or stop doing videos on him. No, because I'm afraid of what else can he say? You want to talk about my daddy next, my grandmother, my grandfather? You did the worst you could ever do already. What else could you do? I'm not worried about you gonna talk about my mother again. That's cool. What else can you do? Once you done did that. So I could just make 50 videos now just talking about all of the poison you've caused in the community, how you really are a snitch, how you really are gay, how your son really is gay. The people that you snitched on, the turmoil that you caused. Even Stutterbox is calling you a snitch. J Hood's daddy. J Hood sticking up for you, but his daddy said you a snitch. That you snitched on him. And he's a snitch too. And he said you a snitch. He ought to know. I'm going to get into that next. What he had to say about you being a snitch. You a rat. You not from LA. You would think people on the internet, think Rat is from LA because he speaks about LA so much. You never hear him talking about Pacoima. This dude from the Valley. He don't talk about the Bloods because they been told him, keep our name out your mouth or it's up. He only talks about the Crips, neighborhoods, the 60s, the 40s, the A-Trade gangsters, the East Coast, Monster Cody. He always in Crips business. Comptons, the Hoovers. Never hear him talking about anybody else. And y'all on the internet would think this dude from LA because he always talk about LA gangs. But he's not. And he doesn't be in LA. He's not on Figueroa. He's never been on Vermont. He's not hanging out in the hood. He's not on Crenshaw. He's not none of that. He's not. If so, bro, meet up with me. What's wrong? I just want to have a conversation. I called you out for a squabble. You know your scary ass won't want to do that. So just meet up and have a conversation with me. I shouldn't have to hunt you down for that. You can even bring the police with you. I just want to have a conversation. I don't care who you bring. You can bring these 20 and 30 and 40 and 50 dudes that you be having with you. Anyone who's hanging around you or supports you is a coward. They don't deserve to be around anyway. They supporting a rat like you, a snitch, a six-finger Louie, a poisonous individual who has love for no one, an individual on the internet disrespecting people's dead mothers, and they support you. They got it coming too then. So bring them all with you. Bring them cowards with you. All of them. I'll come by myself to have this conversation, boy. I don't need nobody. Bring the cops with you. Where can we meet up at, man, to have this conversation? I tried to have it with you on Wednesday. Couldn't find you. Spotyface did expose where we can find you at on Hollywood Boulevard, on Santa Monica, with them boys. Yeah. At least I know where to look, boy. Or are you just going to accept this and have a conversation with me? If not, you a real biatch. You's a real coward, for real. You the worst kind of coward, Rat100. There are individuals I used to be with there in prison that would start some stuff all the time on the yard. Just rambunctious individuals, ran their mouth a lot, getting into situations. But they would come out to the yard and stand on it. They'd come out to the yard and fight with us when they get us into this stuff. And at least you're doing it. You're going to start it, at least be there to bag it up. This dude, the Bloods, the Pyrus, are letting this dude get on the internet in their name, say that he's an OG Blood and OG Pyru for years, and be proven to be a snitch, starting all kind of stuff, speaking on Crip business, and they ain't done nothing, but they ain't checked this dude yet. Properly, because he's still doing it, so he hasn't been checked in the real way, or he wouldn't be doing it. That's the bottom line. But the jig is up. Gonna flush you out. You cancer. The whole community is about to flush you out now, boy. I'm doing this video to let you know I didn't stop doing videos on you because of what you said about my beloved mother. Love you, mama. That's not why I stopped. I stopped because I didn't want to talk to you on the internet anymore. Once you said what you said, just wanted to have a conversation with you, as I still do, and I'm going to face to face. You're not really from the street. You're all internet. You're the worst kind of coward that starts stuff, says stuff, and then when you get called out to bag it up, you won't bag it up. You just continue to talk instead of bagging up. What kind of real member will respect this dude? He got called out for a fade and won't fight after he's on the internet talking. How can you respect someone like that? I'm asking him now for us to meet up for a conversation. But is he going to do it? No. What kind of man is that? Instead, it's going to make 20 more videos disparaging me, talking crazy, calling me out my name, disrespecting my family. But it's not going to show up anywhere to bag up the 20 videos. The worst kind of coward. The worst. It's going to be worse if I got to hunt you down. Just meet up with me and have a conversation. You said what you said. You did what you did. Stand on it. That's all. Stand on it as a man, as an OG blood, as a Pyru. Stand on it. Or stop saying that you are blood and a Pyru. Stop saying that you are a man. Stop saying that on the internet, because everyone knows that you are the opposite. If you won't stand up and you won't squabble up or even meet up for a conversation off the internet, we can even record it. You can still record it. I know everything is content. Bring your people and bring the cameras. Bring the cameras. Document it. Don't care. Go live. It doesn't matter. None of that matters. Going to death row doesn't even matter. None of that matters. Put it all on camera. When it's time, it's time. None of that shit matters, bro. It's for real. You don't understand this kind of stuff because you're all content. Meet up and have a conversation. I tried to have it with you on Wednesday. Couldn't find you. So this dude tells Alshon Martin that the reason that I haven't been running content on him more than likely is because of what he said about my mother. So I said, so he not going to take the video down? I said, all right, bro, you don't have to tell him no more. A couple days. No, don't talk to him. And so we hung up the phone, me and Alshon, and that was it. That was last night. Nothing against Alshon. I was going to trip, tell you the truth, like F you too, everybody that's around this dude, because he don't respect you. He doesn't respect you as a man. He doesn't respect you as a Hoover. He doesn't respect you as a nephew or none of that. Because first of all, he wouldn't have made a video like that about your OG homie, about your big homie. But he don't respect me because of what this other dude told him. I know exactly what happened. But they're all mistaken. It's just a shame. But it is what it is. But he doesn't respect Alshon. He doesn't see him as a nephew. He sees no one as a nephew in real life, like for real. Because the minute that you call him and say, bro, take down that video, do that for me. Talking about my big homie, talking about my big bro, talking about his mother. He hot, his family hot. Take that shit down. Even if you mad, he called you a snitch, I get it, bro. Take that one down, though. Make 10 more calling him a snitch then. Calling him a buster, do all that. Go at him. Leave the family out of it, though, bro. Leave his mother out of it, bro. I'm just telling you. Like, for real, that ain't cool. Take that down. First of all, that's what you should have said. And he should have automatically, if he respected you, said, okay, that's your bro. Okay. Been a couple days. I ain't mad like that no more. Yeah, you're right. I shouldn't have did that, bro. I've taken down videos constantly. I've said constantly, I have no problem with taking down a video if it offends someone. That's just being a professional. That's just being a good content creator. That's just being a respectful, self-respecting individual. Someone calls you who you claim to care about, telling you to take a video down, a hurtful video, and you screaming at him, going back and forth. Hey, he called me a snitch. Instead of just saying, okay. But you don't want to stand on it, bitch. You don't want to meet up and stand on the video that you did, ho. That makes you a fucking hoe. Forever. Spit on your ass. Meet up, ho. And had a conversation. Bring the police. Stand on what you said. Stand on what you telling Alshon on the phone. No, I ain't taking it down. We'll meet up, ho. Ho, bro. A straight ho. No, I didn't stop making content on you, ho. Because I'm worried about the shit you talking. I don't want to talk no more. Not on the internet. I want to talk in person now. That's why I stopped making videos on you, stupid. You so far removed from what's real. You so into this content, you got yourself in some shit, boy. Trust me. Meet up, ho. You an OG blood? You an OG Pyro? No, you not. You a coward. You a snitch. You a transmission. You got caught in the car. whacking your meat in the parking lot of Food for Less and sending it to Trevor. You're making the Bloods look bad. You're making the Pyrus look bad. Gonna flush you out, putting pressure on everyone. Yeah, the Bloods and the Pyrus too. Flush this. If he ain't one of y'all better tell him to stop claiming your hood on the internet then. He making y'all look bad. Buster. And if he is one of y'all, then tell him to meet up with me. Tell y'all OG homeboy that he's been called out and to meet up. And if he doesn't, then what does that make? Y'all still claiming him? If he turns it down, which he's going to do, which he's been doing, because he's a coward. Bro, leave the video up and make 10 more. It doesn't matter at this point, brother. It just doesn't matter. I just said that as I said towards the end of the conversation, hey man, tell the dude to take the video down. Just as a man, what man wouldn't do that? Even if a stranger called him and told him that, much less his friend, his nephew, Alshon, someone connected to me, asking him to do this. But even if it wasn't anyone that he knows, that he knew, it's just anyone's, bro, that ain't cool. Take that down. He should say, oh man, okay, take it down. Much less his friend, his nephew, someone he running around on tour with. And that's why I started to say, because I know where the information came from. But I'm not going to get on the internet with it, bro. But I started to, it started to just be something else. Like, this dude too, everyone with him. All y'all need to show up for this freaking conversation. Busters. But I decided I'm not going to allow Wack to have me, allow me to focus on other individuals or get into it with other individuals. Say Jap 5 or Alshon Martin, J Hood even, whatever. I'm going to focus on Wack. He's the problem. He's the individual I have a problem with. He's the individual that said what he said, no one else. So that's what I'm going to focus on. It'd be a situation where this old puppet master got me out here going at everybody else, and him too, but at everybody else, just because they're around him and couldn't get him to take the video down, or I think they supporting him and licking his ass, or whatever. And so had me ready to say, when it's time for him to, whoop, it's time for them to whoop too. You feel me? For real, for real. You understand? No internet shit. But I can't have him have me like that, particularly against my own people. You know what I'm saying? So it's nothing against anyone else. Alshon, Jap 5, J Hood, Wack's family. I have a problem with this individual and him only, bro. Because he's the one that said what he said. So I'm just going to focus on that. I'm not focused or worried about anything. And I'm not even upset with Alshon that he didn't take. Alshon didn't put the video up. And the fact that he couldn't get him to take it down or he didn't take it down, that's not his fault. That's Wack's fault. Wack didn't take it down, even after Alshon asked him to. How's that Alshon's fault? I'm just saying he don't respect you. The fact that he didn't and still argue with you about it and still got the thing up there, I'm assuming it's still up there. It's just bananas to me. But I'm not faulting him for that, for the video still being up. He didn't put it up there. He can't tell Wack to, make him take it down or whatever. He just a piece of trash for not taking it down. He doesn't respect Alshon, clearly, but it's not Alshon's fault that the video is still up, is what I want to clarify. And I'm not blaming him for that. He said he called him and tried to, holler at him about taking it. He's talking about a couple days and all that. I ain't got a couple days. None of us know how long we're going to be here on this earth. None of us. We don't have, I don't believe in tomorrows. I actually take the video down now. I don't want to sit here and talk. This ain't no fucking negotiation. Sit here and talk about it. I ain't finna negotiate. I asked you, that should have been the end of it. You still got it up there. You still think this is a game? You done lost your, boy, you had a chance. You had a chance, man. Still gave him a chance, brothers, behind the scenes. Told him, man, just tell him to take the video down. Could have took it down. I probably just would have left it like that. Didn't like it, been hurt, upset, angry for a while. But just would have just like, man, move on. This is YouTube. Everything is not content, but bro, you gotta, don't crash at them. It's just, you gotta accept some of this stuff on the internet. You've been coming at people. Not like that. You never would do something like that, but some things you're just gonna have to eat up. You're gonna have to swallow it. You're gonna have to take it. The way he eats it up, swallows it, and takes it. Not in the way he does it, but you're gonna have to. So I was just, okay, fuck. Let it go. Tell him to take it down. Like I said, I thought the phone call was gonna be on. I haven't looked at it. I'm thinking, holler at him, bro. He took it down. Instead, he going back and forth with me. We getting loud on the phone. You say you disrespecting him. Ooh. I'm like, bro, you justifying this? Like, you sound like you. No, hell no, bro. I'm just saying. I'm just telling you what he said. I don't know everything that's been going. He said you prove to him that you even got a strike. He said you just doing this for content. Said that he put a strike on you for content because you was running out of content. I have 8 billion people beneath me at my disposal. 8 billion. I have the whole world before me, not beneath me. Excuse me, before me to make content on. 8 billion situations a day. I'll never run out of content. It's impossible. I'll talk about any damn thing. I did not need content. That's an excuse. I ran content on him because he mentioned my name on No Jumper. I had not been bothering him and not said anything to him. He mentioned my name to begin with, talking about the video I did on Hoodstock. How I just sat there and didn't say nothing for 30 minutes. Told Adam this. Adam said, who? Damion Porter? I don't know who that is. And this is where it all started. He came with my name and then mentioned my name again on No Jumper. Calling me a fake Hoover. The Hoovers made me take down a video or they going to blow my daughter's freaking brains out, I guess. This phantom daughter. And then to play the victim, to make an excuse, he's coming over here running to you telling you, he did a video on me. He said that I'm a snitch. You did snitch on No Jumper. So then even Al Shine told me last night, he don't even think you really got a strike. That you just said that for content base. Well, you got the stuff, you got the email on the strike or whatever. I'm like, damn, yeah. Well, I sent it to him. Where it say No Jumper? I said, right there. He said, oh yeah, I see it right there. It say No Jumper. No Jumper, copyright strike. Says the video, I got it for everything. The next day, after he said what he said on there, snitch, rat, just like I freaking said. Sent it to him. I got the paperwork. What are you talking about? I ain't do this for now. I don't need no content. I was minding my own business. He went on there and mentioned me. Anyway, we're beyond all of that. We're beyond all of that. Just to give you all a little bit of history. Officer. That's what happened, officer. To give you a little history. That's where all of this started. I didn't wake up and call him a snitch. I call him a snitch because he is a snitch. Because he mentioned, I know he didn't get me a strike. I know No Jumper sent the strike. The strike is gone now anyway. Like I said, that's over with. It was never a real, it was a strike, but I got it off. I have fair use. But he put the idea in Adam's head. That's what I said. He mentioned my name to Adam. I know Adam is the one that sent the strike. Per se, in particular, it has to be No Jumper's email that contacts YouTube. Can be Wack100's email. Can be Clubhouse that contacts YouTube for a strike for No Jumper. It has to be No Jumper. So I know No Jumper actually physically got me the strike. My point was, and still is, that you brought my name up to Adam. You put the idea in his head by saying I use this other dude's content. And Adam started talking about everybody reacting to my content, using my content, and start talking about, well, if you make a video and you don't say nothing for 6 minutes, you should better get that video taken down, Adam says. After y'all having this conversation, when you brought up that I used Hoodstock's footage and wasn't reacting enough to it. And you all are having this conversation. And then the next day, as I sent Alshon last night, I got a freaking strike from No Jumper. All of a sudden, the very next day, after you all are having this conversation, and after you brought up my name and my channel to Adam22. So again, I know that you didn't call and get me to strike yourself, but you planted the seed, put it in Adam's head, is what I was saying and what I am still saying, snitch. Meet up and had a conversation to shut up. But I told you to squabble up or shut up, and you still didn't shut up. Instead, you came back disrespecting my mother. You should have just shut up, trust me. But you don't listen because everything is content to you. That's just to you, to your cronies, to your boys, your ball lickers. But it's not content to me. They can all go. You understand? Meet up and have a conversation, boy. That's what you do, you coward. It's a bust. You ain't from nowhere. Certainly not from LA. You need to keep LA out of your mouth and LA gangs out of your freaking mouth. Keep Hoover out of your mouth. Trust me. Coward. Meet up and had a conversation, or meet up and squabble up, or shut up. We'll see each other when we see each other. But you ain't gonna do that because you know how to do that because everything is content to you. That's fine. Y'all let me know how I did. No threats in there, I don't believe. There's no threats. Wasn't easy though. It was not easy. Because this is the person I love the most in life, you know, all of my life. So yeah, it's just words, or what have you, and I get that. But as I said in an earlier video, I'm about to close this out. As I said in an earlier video, words do matter. Words get people killed all the time, murdered, bloody murders, all of the time. Go back in history. You can say that word, it's just words, and we used to grow up saying sticks and stones may hurt my bones, but words would never hurt, something like that. That was a lie. There are situations, as I said earlier in the earlier video, that where I remember Mariah Carey actually doing an interview and saying something that her mother had told her she wasn't a good enough singer or something when she was a child. This was 40 years later, she was talking about it. Still, pain over those words. And sometimes people will rather that you knock one of their teeth out or give them a black eye. That'll heal up, that'll go away. The physical pain is less, oftentimes, less hurtful than words. You can say something to someone and they can still be bothered by it. I know friends who haven't spoken for 30 years over an argument or over words that were said. They would have rather got in the street and had a fight and went and had dinner later on that night and just shook hands later. We all did this growing up, men and women. Two female friends get out there and have a fight and go, girl, come on, go eat afterwards. I'd rather you swell up my face and gave me a black eye. But I still hug you and say we friends forever. Because I'd rather you do that than for you to say what you said to me. And it's 30 years later and I haven't been able to get over it. We haven't spoken in 30 years. If we'd had a fight that night, we'd have still been friends 30 years later. But what she said to me or what he said to me, I can never forgive. So don't tell me that words mean nothing. They cut deep, they hurt. We've seen individuals make rap lyrics talking about the dead, clowning individuals who've lost their homies in shootings and all that. And then these individuals end up dead because these people have people that love them. You're talking about this individual who's lost his life and someone still loves this individual. And it's just words to you, but it's not to this individual's loved ones. And these individuals end up dead all of the time when they make these sort of rap songs and rap lyrics or whatever. And no one cares. People say, oh, well, shouldn't have been talking. Shouldn't have said that. Should have been respecting the dead. Shouldn't have been speaking like that. You see it all the time. And you hear this stuff all the time in response. And when people don't even care that you end up losing your life when you said something outrageous. Just your words. Just your words. Not even your deeds. Just based on what you said. When you die, people say, oh, well, shouldn't have said it. Shouldn't have talked about that man's dead mother, or you shouldn't have talked about his dead son, or you shouldn't have, what have you. Shouldn't have talked about his dead homeboy. Should have went to his grave and poured out liquor and pissed on it and had all this fun and castrated his grave, defiled his grave site and made a rap song about it and posted it on the internet. And so no one is crying. They're saying in the comments, what's for breakfast? Anyway, what's for breakfast? When they report on these things because of what was said. So words do matter. Words do hurt. Words do get people's heads blown off, just for the record. I just need everyone to understand that. People who say words don't matter, they do. Now, you can still be careful and control yourself because it's just words. And that's what I would advise you to do. Not to blow anyone's head off based on some words. Like, I don't want to blow anyone's heads off. I just want to have a conversation because it's just words. You have to be mature and understand that even though words hurt, someone didn't touch you physically or whatever, and they have some words for you, that's okay. Walk away, let us see another day, make it home. That's for every individual who's not really cut the way that I'm cut. Me, sometimes I'm ready to go to death row, and I'm okay with it. Whatever time, I ain't got a lot of time left on earth anyway. I'm 52. It's like, let me get out of here, man. Let me know what you think in the comments. That dude is soft batch cookie, chocolate chip, bro. Peanut butter in the middle, honey bun, a ding dong, cupcake. He refuses to fight or to even meet up and have a conversation, but he gonna get on here and screaming how you OG blood. Coward. A poisonous coward. Can't run forever though, boy. So that's it, man. That's why I had not responded. Yeah, I've seen a video. I've seen a clip of it. I've seen some of what he said about my mother. I did. Just stayed away from it because if I had responded back then, like a couple of days ago, I'm sure would have threatened him. And people would start thinking that he's just talking. It's just, he's threatening him when he ain't done nothing. People start thinking, not knowing that I'm really meaning what I'm saying, that I will back this up. I've done it all of my life. But it gets to a point, if you send it on the internet, they don't see this, they don't know this. So I'm just like, I ain't got nothing to say about this. This is not a talking matter. Then I ended up basically being willing to talk about you, saying, hey, just tell them to delete the video or, take it down, whatever. Man wouldn't even do that, bro. What can you do, man? Stay safe and stay free, people.